Tries to protect his body as well. He's got both arms planted on the sides. Tries to jab and get himself some room, but yeah, he doesn't look like the same. Seha trying to make it, now it's going to hurt. Pulling at Sile's legs.
It's a 12-round fight. We're only in the 5th round.
Let's again.
And Sile is down.
Never counted out.
And you can see it.
6, 7.
Sit by the belt, sit by the belt.
He's hurt.
Withering body shots. Julio Seha breaks him down. Second knockdown of the fight. Both men have won. Heidi Androl standing by with Caleb Plant. Go ahead, Heidi.
That's right, Brian, here with the IBF super middleweight champion of the world. The Twitter sphere going crazy with November 6th. Oh, you're getting some love in here, Caleb. Wow. In terms of this fight, it's official. November 6th, you will take on the pound-for-pound king, Canelo Alvarez, correct?
Correct. November 6th is going down. First undisputed super middleweight of all time, and you're looking at him. His name is Caleb Plant.
Caleb, when we spoke in fighter meetings 3 years ago, you said, I am going to make history as the first undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. How do you do that against a guy like Caleb, or like Canelo Alvarez?
I just gotta go out there and be myself. I feel like I got every tool in the bag to make that happen. And my downfall would be going out there and being anyone but myself. So come November, you guys tune in. It's gonna be a show.
The last time we saw you, you hurt your hand. How is it?
My hand is great, healed up. I've been training really hard. I've been in the gym. Like I said, I'm in the gym year round working. So everything's good with the hands, and I'm just ready for November.
We're certainly looking forward to it. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking the time. We'll get back to the action here in the ring, guys.
Hi, there's big action here. Thank you so much. We look forward to that November 6th. Number 1 in the world, Canelo Alvarez against Caleb Plant. I wonder, Joe Goosen, can Mark McSile recover? Because his body seems to be broken out.
You're right, but McSile swinging for the
And even the way he bends over there, too. You can stay there. Stay out. Strong experience. Good counter hook by that side. Firing back. Each man with a knockdown.
Sea's using that quick trick to touch the top rope over and now. You see McSile holding on. That's a definite sign that, he's getting tired of getting into the body.
And look at the punches landed dead even right now. Look, it's not just the way he's reacting physically. It's not good. I wonder if maybe a rib is broken. I wondered about his nose. But this way he bends over like that, it's not a good sign.
It's the body. And Ishmael said, now we talked it earlier. He said, right after that knock, the body, just keep going with the body. And I'll tell you, that's it's simple and possible.
Yeah, I landed, say, about 19 body shots that last round. Exile's second time in his career knocked down, but it hasn't happened in a long time. That's 5 years ago. And he looked like a different guy here. I mean, the way he marched out in that first round, Joe, looked like a future world champ. Now he's getting dusted up. This is why when you fight Seha, this is what you get. Oh, good hooks to the body. Boy, this is what Canelo did to Rocky Fielding and Kevin Smith. This reminiscent of just a man getting chopped in half.
Sea's really got McSile's number defensively. He's protecting himself much better now in that first couple of rounds. Keeping the hands up, going that right there. He can play with it. He's putting that right level.
Nice combination.
That's a bad shot right there. That liver shot.
He's looking to hit him on the side. Finish up with that hook at the end of the three. Very much combination with Sile. Fires back. There's a lot of spunk in this kid as well.
There's
A war of attrition as we go through 6. And Sile sucking in that air. Let's go back to that knock. This seems like a long time ago now, Joe.
Well, yeah, that was the first round. That was like, hey, how'd you do? Good morning, first round. Now there we go. So that was another look at that first left hook. But that hasn't happened to Seha since. Now here's the 5th round. Look at that left hook to the chop that he caught Pacquiao with that put him down. But that wasn't before he was landing tons of body shots. There's that right uppercut, left hook. That set him down. So it started off with the right uppercut. Pacquiao had his right hand down, got flipped with the left hook, went down. He's a little befuddled and bewildered right now, right? At the pressure and the great fight that Seha's bringing to him.
And I mentioned this is a big step up in class, and this is what it's been. This is what it's about. That's why you fight a man like Seha. He's been in world-class, world championship competition, and Pacquiao has to be thinking as we get into round number 7. This guy should be out of here already. I thought he was going to finish this guy off, but he did not go away.
Well, it certainly looked like this. I mean, the speed and the size and the power of that first round, sure, it looked like that was the beginning of what, some bad things that come from Seha. But we know better than that.
Now, each man has had a knockdown in between. I'm not sure if there's a line of demarcation. Let's go to Larry Hazard and get his score on this. Larry, how do you have this?
All guys, I got an even fight right now. 56, 56. They both have a knockdown piece. That Seha is putting on Messiah is really paying off. Right now, I got him even. 56, 56.
Larry, interesting because you're giving Seha rounds 3, 5, and 6, obviously with the knockdown. But Seha was already, Joe, winning some rounds there as he was talking about.
I can see this being an even, but it's a close fight all the way. I mean, no matter which way you look at it, both have been landing really good punches, and each are having their way in their own way in exchanges. But right now, I just think Seha's got the momentum right now. And I think he may be, on his way. If Pacquiao just doesn't get it together and really do something to stop Seha's march forward, Seha's going to keep it up. It's going to be in good shape.
It's a very different fight. Again, the first 3 rounds, no question. Pacquiao was the man marching around, firing off these beautiful shots, right? Ripping shots.
And they're two nice arm's length shots.
Hurt somewhere in
There
there.
was a nice run, and he held on. That body shot hurt, that right hand to the body really hurt Messiah.
Backwards, moving backwards while taking all those body shots. Like they were saying downstairs, that's money in the bank. He is wearing down. He's never been at this 12-round level. Seha has 28 knockouts, 32 wins. He's been here before. He's showing us that tonight. But no matter what, both of these fighters are showing their heart. It's tremendous to watch. Everyone who's tuned in right now is watching a terrific fight.
Let's get you right back to that fight. Brian Kenny, Joe Booston.
Okay, thank you very much, fellas. Always good to hear from you. Said it was Seha making it a fight in a phone booth. For those out there who's a little younger, that's a very small area. You don't see phone booths. I realize I'm pulling the fight for you. There's kids out here. Interesting. Round Round number 8, each fighter with a knockdown. And really a tale of two fights. The early action with Pacquiao just showing off his skills, his hand speed. And then the second half with Seha battling to the body and breaking down Mark Pacquiao. So now we're going to take a lot of time to go. And you see how punches landed in favor of Seha. Larry Hazard has it about even. You know, the judges are probably in the same boat.
Yeah, and I see what Pacquiao's doing now. He's not exchanging without Seha on the inside. When Seha gets there, he's wrapping him up. Because he doesn't want any part of that inside game right now.
Yeah, you can't stay there. Seha gets into the corner again.
Okay, same time him up right there. He's done that 3 times this round. Look at that touch to the head, and then that sort of like shot.
Coming in with both hands too, Joe. Right hand and left hand. Seha looks strong right now. He's working off that success, and he's really got a lot more determination and a lot more energy. It's funny, Seha too. I'm calling the fight like he's a 45-year-old guy. He's 28. You know, he's just been through so much. He fought for a world title 8 years ago. Been through a lot.
No, exactly. And he fought some of the rest. Good right hand by Pacquiao right there.
That was a long right hand as well. Counter. It's going to right on the chin. Seha able to weather it.
Well, I think Seha is not really being affected by the punches right now. From Pacquiao, there he goes holding on again. He's like I say, he's not interested in dueling it out on the inside with body work.
I think you're right, Joe. I think this is a little less full of shots from that side where Seha now. I mean, if he ate one on the chin in the first round like that, it'd be a different story. Yeah. But in that round, he was able just to take it. So the body shot's still wide discrepancy from Seha.
Pacquiao's going to try to win this fight now. These next few rounds, at least. Like moving and trying to land from the outside, scoring there, and then not letting Seha score on the inside. So, you know, if Seha doesn't force himself on Pacquiao, he'll be able to implement that little strategy, and it might work for him.
And Pacquiao there, because he doesn't want to get close enough to Seha, threw a combination that hit nothing but air. Because he's just not close enough. His feet aren't close enough to Seha to hit him, so he's coming up short. He's able to touch him there. Mark Pacquiao, Julio Seha. We've got Robert Guerrero coming up next against Victor Ortiz. 2 fighters looking reclaiming old glory. And that is the build-up for the main event. Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas, Pacquiao back at the age of 42. I mentioned this as a weigh-in, Joe. This is a guy who had 40 moved up in weight. He's challenged De La Hoya, Hatton, Cotto, Josh Plotty, everyone else. If he had just retired in 2008, he's a Hall of Famer. A lower weight Hall of Famer. The wars with Barrera and Marquez and El Terrible, Eric Morales. He'd already done enough.
Like a presidential library, he should have his own Hall of Fame.
You know, he's taking some jump shots. And he plays professional basketball, doesn't he? In addition to being a
Professional?
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I think in the Philippines, if he shows up, it's a clear out. Let's see.
I guess 43 is just a frame of mind when it comes to.
You know, it's amazing. Look at his lower half there, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when he's walking around with his people, you're like, oh, this little guy, he's not in shape. This is going to be sad. And then you see him there, and you go, oh, okay, hold on. I see the quads, I see the calves. This guy's a monster.
I just think physically his body looks better in this fight than the last fight.
He says he worked harder. But no, on fight night, he gets larger.
Yeah.
He's a larger-than-life figure. Round 9, scheduled for 12. This has been a good fight. Mark Pacquiao with a knockdown in round 1 off of Julio Seha basically cut Pacquiao in half and knocked him down later in the fight in the 5th round. Should be close on the scorecards.
Pacquiao's sticking to that game plan. I don't want to say it was a game plan, but to the strategy now he's had for the past few rounds, which is not engage on the inside, tie up, box and move, try to score from out there. I think it's got merit, and he's been pulling it off. And
Is he winning rounds, you think?
You could be judging it that way, and I think Sea's making a mistake by not putting on really hard pressure and forcing him to fight, keeping him on the ropes, and not cutting him off the ropes. See how he backed out of him right there? He gave him an escape route. You shouldn't do that if you're trying to pressure a guy.
Sehan landing the jab as he gets in now against Pacquiao in the corner. Pacquiao fires back, plants and fires. Kenny Balance a good job. Work out of that. You don't have to stop him there. You don't have to break it. Let him fight out. He does the right hand by Sehan.
Yeah, good body shot right there, left right to the solar plexus.
We've seen excellent action. We'll have to Mucha.
Yeah. Oh,
In the fights that we opened up, and Jose Valenzuela looked terrific. Frank Martin.
yeah. Wow, it's been a long day, but a really exciting day, and I'm glad for that because anybody who tuned in earlier or is watching it live now is really at a treat.
Hopefully you were with us earlier on Fox. Jose Valenzuela, 9-0, he's 22 years
Dale
old.
Luis on the back.
Frank Martin is out of Indianapolis. Detroit is 14-0. On a win over a great game. Ryan Koteski, Newton, Massachusetts. And here, we're getting outstanding action from the unbeaten Mark Pacquiao, 22-0. The veteran Julio Sehan.
So just pulled up 4 or 5 straight punch combination while he was back on the ropes. Got off before he did. This has been a backward, landed the hook there. He's been pulling off the past couple rounds. He's been pulling off his strategy pretty well.
Wanted to tee off there with the hook and Sehan just polarized on the way out. That's good timing. They're going to let Pacquiao just tee off. Pacquiao now back in the corner trying to jab his way out. Good right hand by Sehan. Pacquiao is more on his toes now, Joe, getting out of danger.
Letting his hands go right there, 5-6 punches.
All this leading up to the main event. He's again the return of the living legend, Pacquiao. At the age of 42, your Dennis Ugas is 35 years old. He is a former amateur world champion. And you see here, since 2016, he had 2 years off. He was disillusioned from the sport. He came back. He's 11-1 since then. Quality wins as well, Joe. And has only lost razor close to Sean Porter. And a lot of people thought he beat Sean Porter in that fight. No disrespect to Sean. A lot of people thought, Sean, hey, you could get a decision over Errol Spence. It's that close. But this man is high quality in the ring.
Listen, when you remember the fight with Omar Figueroa, he
made him look bad.
Boy,
Made him look bad.
I couldn't believe Figueroa took that sort of punishment, but Ugas is the type of guy who can deliver really, really accurate punishment. Great body puncher, great counter puncher, long arms, very, very intelligent fighter. He's just a hard guy to deal with. He can come at you or he can box you.
What's happening here, Joe? Just your thoughts here, so look at what
Well, we're right here because you have to have the tape an inch behind the knuckles. So if you're wrapping it there, they cannot come that close. Right. They have to be an inch behind. So it makes you ask and say, you know what, just pull that back a little bit.
And he's like, I've been doing this 26 years.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know.
Oh, no, the rules for a reason.
Yeah.
Right, no, absolutely. Round 10 here. Mark Pacquiao there. Reeling. Julio Sehan. Now Pacquiao jumps back in.
Oh, no pushing.
Julio Sehan.
He got a little second win, Pacquiao did. I think by boxing the past few rounds, not taking What a great
He's still out, Joe. I know. It's accelerating on one side, frightening on another. Sehan was just going to knock down cold. That's the way this business goes. I mean, it's like Pacquiao wants to snap.
The doctors do their work right now. That's good. He's moving. He's picking his head up. That means he wants to get up. I think he's going to be okay.
Sehan's coming too, folks. We're looking at it pretty closely here. He's right here. It's on the ring apron. I'm fine.
He's over here for a little bit. There's the mouthpiece out of his mouth to breathe.
Very much better. But wow, scary for a moment.
Well, you know, that's a big, strong kid, Pacquiao, who hit him, who came back really well. Let me tell you. That was a brilliant comeback. Freddie's going to come around us.
First thing I'm going to do. I mean, just the way that
I know he's going back to the locker room now. So he's leaving early.
Freddie Roach just leaving again. Actually, going back to the locker room. He's going to try to push for the lightning wrap hands.
There's Sean Gibbons, the agent.
And then you have the
Exile.
Undercard.
Also Pacquiao, right there. Just the way, I mean, there was such a swing in that fight where it looked like Seha is busting this kid up, and the momentum has shifted. Exile came back again, renewed vigor in that round, and he came firing back.
Yeah.
And we will take another look.
Yeah.
And just what Seha.
Seha gave him some ground. Well, that was the end of it. He had gotten hurt already. But if we see a little something before that happens, you'll see him get run back to the ropes. There we go. So there's a left hook. That one really did the trick. I'd say there it is. He was already out. He got hit with that punch.
Exile closes ground with length. His punches have real length. You gotta watch his feet get in position. Throws the hook, but then he closes in and still is able to jump in, try the hook again, the right hand, boom, and pick it off that right leg.
And then Seha again, he extended his hands, opened up his guard, and allowed that to get through. But it was a good, but it came so fast. You never saw it. You never saw that right hand land.
Living up to his nickname, that was truly magnificent.
Yeah.
Especially the way he went through it. Here's the backflip.
Oh, he's back.
Wow. To have the energy to do that. Woo.
He was down. He was cut in half.
You know, they're concerned about Exile in the corner right now. I can tell you
We're
that.
going to go back to the ring in a moment.
Seha.
Seha just went back down.
Yeah.
So he was up on his stool and just went back down. So maybe we just pause here for a moment to try to see Seha.
Let's see, they're going to take every precaution. That's why I love the Nevada Commission, like the California Commission. They've got all the appropriate doctors, ambulances, everything they need. And I like to say, how's his sponsor? He's talking. He's okay. By the way, he's going to have to go to the hospital for observation, that's for sure.
And they might want to wheel him out of here as well. We'll try to keep you up to date. Let's go to the ring and take him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 50 seconds in round number 10. He is the winner by way of knockout. He is still undefeated. He is the winner of the WBC Featherweight World Title Eliminator and the new WBO International Featherweight Champion, Mark Magnifico Maxayo.
He had to go through some fire to get that win. Again, we hope for the best with Seha, who is back on his stool right now and he's standing up. So that is good news. Exile, a tremendous win. Again, Seha looks like that better right now. So you're seeing this here in replay, Joe. We want to make sure that Seha's okay. But again, if not pushing there, he has to be wheeled out, he will.
Yeah.
But he looks all right as of right now.
He's
All right,
okay, but
woo! Big win. Let's go back to Kate Apto.
Ooh, it sure was, wasn't it? Entertaining fight with an exciting end. Do you want to share any of your notes for your podcast? You got it down there.
Absolutely not. The Quarterway Podcast Tuesday. You hear all about that big knockout right there. Magnifico. I'm no longer
Keith, tell me what you thought of that fight.
I mean, really, he just lived up to his name in that moment. Magnificent. This guy was looking like he was going to be broken down by the 5th and 6th round. He got drugged. He wasn't looking his best. But the moment that second win came in, he missed the left hook. I said, oh, that speed is there. The power is there. 5 seconds later, the fight was over. That young man, he stepped up to the occasion to represent the Philippines in preparation for being the next Manny Pacquiao. I wasn't sure if he had what it takes to take out the veteran Seha, but he proved me wrong tonight with that beautiful right hand.
That's what's so exciting for him at this moment, right? Is that he will know that Manny Pacquiao was back there watching him in his success as we are counting down the minutes to tonight's main event. Will the legendary run come to an end, or will Father Time be handed the defeat instead? That is the big question for you. Listen, there's so much to talk about with this fight coming up. We have seen athletes across all sports put up a banner season or two before they then fall off the map completely. Greatness can often be defined by longevity, but it isn't just how long you dominate in the sport, it's also how exciting you are while you're doing it.
Akin na yan, kaya akin na yan, akin na yan.
Greatness can happen in a single flash, dominating for a brief moment. But to be a legend, an all-timer, you must endure. The refusal to accept what the body whispers to the mind. My first 5 majors and 44 PGA wins cemented my name in Hall of Fame career. But at 50 years old, I was engulfed on the biggest stage, becoming the oldest major champion in the history of my game. Like select others, I proved greatness and the passage of time can run together on a parallel line. Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl at age 43. Across 20 seasons, Gretzky netted nearly 900 goals. It's Jordan's 6 rings, while a 43-year-old Tiger claimed his 15th major win. And after 19 seasons, a baseball icon took his final at bat and hit a home run. Just like Manny Pacquiao, Ted Williams was 42 years old. Tonight, it's a thumbs up for Pac-Man as he takes his swing. His belt spanning 4 decades with a record 8 division world titles. A man of first, oldest, and onlys. And even sweeter coming from that lefty side.
Here's what a young Manny Pacquiao looked at age 18 when he was 10-0 as a pro, side by side with Manny Pacquiao as he looks right now, 42 years young, and with the potential tonight to add yet another record to his already long list. Manny Pacquiao is just an incredible fighter. Let's talk about it for a second, because what he has achieved in 26 years in this sport is just incredible. He's the sport's first ever 8th division champion. He's gone from 106 pounds through to 147 pounds, winning titles. There are weight classes in boxing for a reason. That is ever 8th division champion.
I should go back further because he's 42, but I'll go with the current. LeBron James, Tom Brady, The Rock. Even if you go out of sports, Will Smith, Kevin Hart, the common denominator of all those people and Manny Pacquiao, hard work. That's why he's still here.
You watch a piece like that, right, and you kind of think about just how special he is. And on paper, he should be past his prime, but this is not a fighter that's hanging on or staying past his prime. He just kind of can't give it up. This is a guy who's definitive for the division.
I mean, every time we see him, we just saw him backstage. Everyone's 42. Everyone's comparing from his performance against me in 19 to now. And when I saw backstage, I saw those same fast feet, the fast movement. We are going to see an explosive Manny Pacquiao. I don't think this man knows how to age.
It happens to us all at some point. Listen, we are the only ones who are looking back on the legendary career of Manny Pacquiao. Heidi Angel's got even more nostalgia for you tonight. That's right, Kate. He's even bringing back the wardrobe. You have to go back to 2006 to see Manny Pacquiao. It was the Morales trilogy, the 3rd fight. There he is with the WBC super featherweight belt around his waist, one of many that he's got in his collection. And that actually sparked kind of and launched him into superstardom. He went on to win consecutive fights against guys like Ricky Hatton, De La Hoya, Marquez, Barrera, Timothy Bradley, Shane Mosley. I mean, I could keep going. It was an incredible run. He plans to bring that same heat and be that noisy storm in the ring that he was all those years ago. Now, let's send it across the ring over to Jordan Lane.
Thanks, Heidi. Referee Russell Mora will be in charge tonight of the Pacquiao versus Ugas fight. And here's some interesting info. He's the same ref who deducted a point from Ugas for holding in the 5th round during his fight with Omar Figueroa Jr. And when I mentioned this to his trainer, Ismael Salas, he was surprised and thanked me for the update because he said that they definitely want to clarify this in a pre-fight rules meeting because they want to be on the same page. They know they cannot afford a point deduction in a fight of this magnitude. Let's send it to you guys back upstairs. Kate?
Thank you so much, Jordan. I want to react to both of those things quickly with you. Let's start with Manny Pacquiao because we've been talking about the fact that he's bringing these things back, right? He's gone old school. He's got the bamboo stick for the training. He's got the Morales shorts, all kind of a nod to the past. Is it making all things, all signs that maybe this is the last time that he's thinking in that way as well?
I mean, it's already been talked about in that way. The clock only ticks forward, 43, 44. You know, he wants to bring that
It's
fire
all right.
back. He wants to do it for the fans. He wants to leave with the greatest performance. He said backstage that you're going to see the best Manny Pacquiao. And if you're going to leave, that's the way to do it.
And going back to what Jordan was talking about as well, because I want to get your thoughts on that. Is it worth Jordanis Ugas and his team spending mental energy on this thing? Is this something we should just think, all right, this happened, we're moving forward, different fight, different night?
The thing is, you learn from experience. The experience that they have with the ref that they're dealing with tonight, Mora, they experienced Mora not giving them the fair shake. So the energy that was spent was, I feel like it was necessary. They want Mora to know what they're looking for in this fight, and they want Mora's eyes looking at the same direction that they're looking at, not looking at anything else. So it's subliminal messages, and that's what boxing is all about.
You know, we're watching Jordanis Ugas get his hands wrapped backstage, obviously. I want to ask you a question, Sean, because you've got such an interesting perspective on this. You've done a couple of camps sparring with Manny Pacquiao back when he was prime Manny Pacquiao, 2010, 2011, whenever that was. Jordanis Ugas, who shared a fight with him in 2019. He was talked about Manny Pacquiao and the power that he had in his hands, how heavy his fists were. Who's got more power between the two?
You know what? Even though it was sparring, I will say that Manny Pacquiao has more sparring or more power. And I'm not just saying that because he's Manny Pacquiao. It's also power. With your I think it's more strength. I think that if you allow him to touch you and allow him to
was the one that knocked him out while he was on his feet, and then he finished him. While he was still knocked out, he was on his feet, and he hit him with that second shot. You'll see it right here. He's out right there. Eyes are closed, and here comes another right hand. Boom, before he even hits the ground. That's why that was such a devastating knockout for Seha.
And look, we'll keep you up to date on Julio Seha because our enthusiasm was even tempered by watching Seha the way he was out cold, and that's a frightening thing, Joe. You've been through it your whole life.
Yeah.
When a fighter gets hurt, you wait for this moment, but it is frightening when you see it happen with this type of violence.
Well, yeah, and it happened so quickly. The great Kenny Bayless really didn't even have time to get to the whole thing. And here's the, and I'm sure he's going to be headed to the hospital from what we understand right now.
He's getting helped off. You see, he was able to walk off there, but he's even getting help, and I think the rest of the way he's walking up. Jordan Plant just talked to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And as you expected, obviously, he's going out of the hospital. I'm almost surprised he didn't get wheeled out of here, just by the way it happened. But Seha, we see a lot of these guys who are just so brave, so tough. And Seha making this into a war where it looked like he's cutting this kid in half. And then he gets hit with something that he won't even remember.
That's it. Things can happen in the blink of an eye, and that's what happened in this fight. It was going Seha's way the second half of the fight, but he got clipped with that right hand, and that turned the show
And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with white trim. He is fighting out of Las Vegas, California. He weighed in at 146 pounds. His record stands 6 losses, 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the former multi-division world champion, introducing Robert the Ghost Guerrero. And a referee in charge now to give instructions, Michael Ortega.
Hey, Michael Ortega. Ortegas. Tao na. Maraming yan
So, John, win over the rules. Good team fight. Protect yourself at all times. Look to both the teams.
Yeah.
Victor Ortiz gone from the ring 3.5 years.
Pacquiao
with Kevin Alexander in 2018. Luis Ortiz is here. He can con himself. The top heavyweights in the world. And royalty in the house. The hitman, Tommy Hearns.
One of the greatest of all time. One of my favorites.
Wow, no question. We're talking about Pacquiao from 112 to 147. Tommy Hearns, 147, went up to 175. Yeah, it's an all-time great, obvious Hall of Famer. And we're underway. Back from the break, Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero. Opening round, they'll fight 10, scheduled for 10. And who has the most left? Joe, get both stepped away from the game. Both are on miles. How do you know?
You have to
I think we're going to have to win.
Yeah.
Again, two southpaws going against each other. Now, normally they'd be fighting right-handers. Ortiz is 1-1-1 against southpaw.
Wait a minute. No.
Shot there. That was a right.
Wait, man, you sit here.
From Ortiz. Guerrero looks hurt. Guerrero doesn't look quite as crispy right now as Victor Ortiz. Ortiz get extremely talented in short bursts. Ortiz can be a marvelous boxer.
You're exactly correct. I mean, he's really well especially Robert Guerrero's a good inside fighter as well.
Guerrero is a little steady, slow and steady winning the race. Ortiz, a more, shall we say, mercurial performer. Right. He can thrill, he can infuriate.
It was a nice little 1-2 hook that Robert Guerrero just threw. I think I like it better on the outside. Because, you know, Ortiz likes to throw pressure. I think he fights better.
Nice little hoping jab, trying to get his range. Ortiz has a nice arsenal, and again, he's 34. Nice combination there by Guerrero. Moving on the way in, show a little fire.
Guerrero's 4-0. They've done Michigan southpaw. Undefeated. He's never lost to southpaw.
Nice combination there by Guerrero. Ortiz fires back. You might remember Ortiz had that bizarre loss. Floyd Mayweather, the boxing reasonably well, when he dropped his hands to apologize for a headbutt. Now, Floyd's not a dirty fighter, but he will take any gift you're willing to give him, and he knocked Ortiz out.
I think it was too long of an apology, and then, you know, Mayweather just said, well, it's okay. That's
right. You know, just touch gloves. Final 40 seconds of round number 1. Robert Guerrero with a combination, and another combination there, outlanding Ortiz. After Ortiz had some initial success.
Yeah, that's where Victor was good right there. You know, 3 nice shots, you know, 2 to the body and the 1 to the hook, just like that. He repeated it twice. He's good. He's got good balance on the inside there.
Final seconds, round number 1. This is the pro feature. The main event is next. Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas. Ortiz keeping it at close range as we end round number 1. So he had a good outing with Chris Arreola last time out.
There he
Made
is.
a really nice run in Andy Ruiz. Had Ruiz in trouble a number of times.
Yeah, well, second round we had Ruiz down. Third round we had him out on speed. And Ruiz, of course, was in great shape. And made it a dog fight. It was a really good fight, competitive fight. And he looks good. Chris looks really good. There's Leo.
Leo Santa Cruz, multi-division world champion. I hope we see him back. He was classic champ. Got knockout lost to Javante Davis. He was boxing well in that fight.
Sure was.
There's your Dennis Ugas. Again, making the big step up in competition. He was on this card already. Fighting Damian Maidana, Marcos Maidana's brother. And then the call came in when Errol Spence, the medical showing that he had a detached retina. And Ugas, after being avoided, gets the shot at the big time.
It's funny how things work out, Brad. You know.
But you're right, Ugas against Omar Figueroa. Think of his last three fights. Omar Figueroa, Mike Dallas Jr., Abel Ramos. Three good, solid, top 15-ish fighters. And he won going away on all three. Absolutely. Made it look easy. Round number 2. Well, their next shot there by Ortiz. So we had a clash of heads. First round, so you look over to the left-hand side. So we took a close look at that. Oh, they've got good action here in round number 2. It just collided right there, so it's fairly even now. And you can see Guerrero starts to take control, but then a quick flurry from Ortiz, and it changes around.
You know, the thing about it, both guys are serious. I mean, they're not just on the same they're coming back because they want to establish themselves. This fight and go down another opportunity, right? So they're serious. They train very hard. You got Freddie Roach in one corner. Robert Guerrero. These are serious men, serious trainers, and they want to win.
Guerrero staying busy right now. And he's 38 years old.
Hello, Lance man ng Lance.
Something here against Ortiz. Ortiz never has to take that.
Lance Manalo. Dealing.
Ortiz, I called the fight, Joe, that he had against, it was on Fox years ago, 2016, against Andre Berto. He looked fantastic.
Guys.
Knocked Berto down in the second round. Then he got drilled and knocked out the fourth round. Yeah, sometimes you just fight. What happened?
You know, because Andre Berto
Miguel versus
to do with it. Andre Berto was a lightning quick, you know, furious fighter.
Pang barbecue can kalame.
Victor was lighting the years.
Yeah, I know that. But things change. It's like an excital fight. You know, things change. In one punch.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way. Anyway, here, round number 2.
Oh, I gotta say, who won the fight?
Yeah, but I see Victor has trouble finishing these fights. He has these moments of excellence, and if you just stay in the box, I think he wins that fight going away.
Like I said, Berto had something to do with it. But, you know, right now, we're in a dogfight right here. We got two guys that are in great shape. You can tell they're in good shape. And they're using all their skills and all their experience to try to win these rounds. And, you know, right there, good exchange. My hope
There, let it fly. Guerrero. And Ortiz, his head snaps up. Now he starts to weave, tries to get out of trouble. Moving his head. Trying to stay in there. Can he trade with Guerrero? Guerrero throws better shots. Shot from Ortiz. Wow.
What kind of Ortiz? Big bounce and backing tayo nga. Nabata ka kayo.
Yeah. You step out a little bit, let him run into shit. You did good. You shut him down. You got that tumble to win. That's what he's doing hard. He's trying to throw everything he's got. All right. Let's box him. Jab his boom,
Sama
boom.
mo jab.
Nice jab. Boom.
Jab. Kaya
nice left upper. That really didn't do. Victor, much good. But please get flip back good shots. Here's another left upper shot. This with the right hook. There's another angle of it. Boom. Left hook. Or left uppercut, right hook. And then a little counter shot.
malapit niya ang Pacquiao.
And here we go. Here's what
Kaya kami na yan.
this is right there. See, that's it. It's a lot less straight. They did fight solidly, but the hook did.
That was a combination to reclaim some glory. Robert Guerrero inspired as we get into round number 3. You see the T-Mobile Arena filling up. Pacquiao, round 3. 2 old, formerly retired, proud veterans going head to head here. And you see what the Ghost has left. Robert Guerrero led the fight in round number 2. Again, it's
But kaya po
an
siya
interesting world-class resume, Guerrero. He won a featherweight belt in 2006. He beat an aging Joel Casamayor in 2010. Moved up to lightweight. Joey had quality wins. Michael Katsidis, Selchuk Iden got things that might not resonate now, but at the time, that was world-class wins.
And of course, when I had cats in my order, this time at my gym, Robert Guerrero came out when he was 17 years old and started training at my gym. And who knew he'd end up years later fighting his mentor, so to speak.
By the way, Guerrero then beat Andre Berto, we were just talking about. And then he was picked to be Floyd Mayweather's first opponent back from one of his retirements. So that was the high-profile bout. Up against Floyd, Floyd's return. And right here at the age of 38, trying to go back. Look, he had big fights. Keith Thurman, Eddie Garcia, he lost those. Had a war with Yoshi Kamagai, where they broke punch records. So Guerrero has been through it, and he's back for more, and fighting well tonight.
And Victor just landed a nice chop left hand on the inside and the right hand to the body. It's, and the great referee Mike Ortega, who's been around forever, he's smart. He stays out of the fight. He'll inject himself when he has to, and he just warned him before he punches his head on the inside.
Halfway through round number 3, and look, we know what we're looking at here. Guerrero, I thought not did. Against Omar Figueroa in 2017, we called that fight for Fox. That was at Nassau Coliseum. Right. Guerrero got knocked down 5 times by Figueroa. He was beaten pillar to post. At the end of that fight, he said, "It's time for me to walk away." But he came back, unretired a year and a half later. And he's won 2 fights since. So now he gets Victor Ortiz, who he figures, hey, good name on the resume. He wants to come back. I'll come back too.
Right. It's hard to step away from this game if you still feel like you've got something left. Even if you have a bad fight like you did against Omar Figueroa.
Guerrero right back, jumping back in nicely. Tries to time Ortiz, trying to keep the pressure on. That's a little blood trickling down. Is that from the forehead of Victor Ortiz? I believe it is. That's over the eye now. It's over the right eye of Ortiz.
It's the right eye of Ortiz. And whether or not by a punch or a head, it's going to be hard to figure it out.
13 seconds in cash.
Guerrero digging to the body.
Let him go.
Ortiz trying to protect that eye. Final seconds, round number 3 here in Las Vegas.
Yan ng round 3. Guerrero versus Ortiz. Masatapang comments.
The next pay-per-view is brought to you by DraftKings
Money
Sportsbook,
for the win.
the only top-rated sportsbook out.
Okay, go ahead, everyone. Shout out.
By the Air Force Reserve.
Shout out 30,
By going to
shout out. Lance, Manalo, shout out. From
Big Hitman used to be so easy. Gerard Butler stars in
kayo,
Rated R.
Only
theaters September 17th.
Manny Pacquiao. For the win.
Mention your winner, Ugas. Is a live dog here. Who I think is next main event on Twitter. 44% going Pacquiao KO. Pacquiao decision 43%. So that's such a live dog out there in the. Believe the blood, Joe. Maybe came from a headbutt. Let's take another look.
That's why Mark Ortega, the referee, he saw this coming, and that's exactly what happened. It was a coincidental, clash of heads. Guerrero maybe coming in a little bit hotter, but looks like they got the. I think they have. Let's see who the cut man is. That's Mike Rodriguez. He's one of the best in the country. So
he's working every fight. Yeah, he works every fight that he's at. By the way, how can Joe go round 4 now? This is spirited. Look, I know these guys are retired and stepping away. Yeah, I best. But they're coming back. They're giving it their all right now.
They don't look like they're watching. I think trained really hard. Represented by quality trainers that wouldn't be they wouldn't do that to themselves or the fighters. So, they believe in their guys right now. We'll see who wins this fight. Make a few more bucks. And maybe have a fight with some prestige attached.
And be part of the scene, Joe. I know people at the fighter meetings this week, they enjoyed that part. They're smiling, they're enjoying it. Once you step away from it, I think you realize all the things you miss. You miss a big part of the scene for big fights. They enjoyed that.
Who would ever think they could miss getting hit? But they do. That's why they're special.
See the punches landed there. It's still very close. 51, 52-47. Body shots also fairly even. For Robert Guerrero, first fight nearly 2 years. For Ortiz, has been away 3.5 years. Both fighting on the inside again. We find this there. Right hook there for Ortiz. By the way, I just got word, Joe, that Mark Pacquiao was down on all 3 cards when he got that knockout win. He was down 87-82, 86-83 twice. Wow! When he got that Julio say, how about that?
It makes a little bit of sense. I mean, you can see it that way. Ceja really put it.
You're taking control.
Yeah, he took control.
Took it back from him. Good exchanges here. Good body work by Ortiz. Both digging in, whacking at each other, and good body shot there. Ortiz, his punch is a little shorter, a little crisper, a little closer to the body. Guerrero trying to move his head. Get it out of harm's way. It's both been slow up just a little bit. So it'll take a lot for Guerrero to get that fire that he had in that combination. It is. I mean, one thing when you see some 22-year-old kid that we've seen earlier throw a 7-punch combination. It takes a lot of energy when you're 38.
This is a real grind fight. They're both grinding each other right now. There's a lot of give and take. And let's see who busts out for the next few rounds.
They are grinding at each other here as we get ready now for the main event. Yordenis Ugas gets his shot at the big time, living legend, future Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao. A big fight feel. Pacquiao, one of the era spends. Then he go through. He still won the fight. I give credit to him. That's a guy that, again, in the top 5, guys that go upstairs and say, let me get Thurman, let me get Sean Porter. Those guys will beat you. Ugas can beat you. Pacquiao now 42, he's been back 2 years.
Well, I mean, there's to fill the shoes of Errol Spence, you had to bring in somebody that was good. And Ugas is really good.
He said, my next title defense is Ugas. He said, that would be an excellent fight.
Yeah, I would go, man. That's a dangerous fight for either guy.
Look, if we see Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, I would love to see that fight.
Oh,
imagine the top guys all fighting each other. How about that?
I like to see Sean fight anybody. Why? Just think back on that Spence fight. When he had that 20,000 seat arena on their feet. He was amazing that night. And when the chips are down, Sean Porter will perform.
Round number 5. This is a close fight. Larry Hazard is here to help us out with it.
Well, after 4 rounds, Brian, I got all these say here, 39-37. These 2 guys been down the road. 2 guys a very even fight. And they were actually going 1 for you, 1 for me up until around round 3. Then Ortiz started to come on. I gave it around 3 and 4. So I have Ortiz at 39-37.
Thank you so much. Big advantage, except for that one flurry from Guerrero. Extended success. His left eye, Guerrero's eye, is also closing up.
Yeah, it's pretty much closed. You got Ortiz's right eye reopened again, bleeding a little bit. Not as bad as it could be. And then you've got Guerrero's left eye shut completely, practically completely. Let's see if the cut man, Guerrero's corner can hold that up. You got to use it's a piece of metal in swell. They push the blood out to the side and they try to relieve the swelling by moving it out from the area and freezing it with the end swell. So let's see if they can do that. I've reopened eyes that have been shut before with an end swell. If you use it correctly.
It's a skill. It's a real skill.
Yeah, you have to show how to use it correctly.
Been multiple headbutts in this fight. Both men are jumping in an awful lot, and they're fighting at close range as well. Ortiz trying to dip down low, but he needs a shot. Guerrero, things slow down. It's going to be a battle of wills.
Good uppercut by Guerrero right there. There's really a lot of tip for tail, to be honest. Guys they get back, they get touched, they're getting back.
Guerrero gets a little bit more room there with that left uppercut. He's able to land it. Trying to move into here, and Ortiz trying to smother those shots.
He really is.
He's not holding.
He's really bowling Guerrero on the ropes with his shoulders into his chest and his head. He knows how to maneuver on the inside of Ortiz.
Ini malapit na.
Well, we're almost filled up here now. Looking on the T-Mobile Arena, things slow up, getting ready for the main event, and this place is going to erupt. Here to Guerrero on Ortiz, slowing down the way up there to the body shot and answering Ortiz. Right up to the head. Ortiz is a talented fighter. Push him down. We're going to take a closer look at Robert Guerrero's eye and see exactly what he's up against there. As that eye seems to be closing up. Yeah, that is almost nearly closed up completely. Yep. And we got multiple headbutts. Four different headbutts in this fight, Joe.
Yeah, well, this is what happens if you got a couple southpaws in there together.
Hey guys, magpapamo na. Kailangan ko pamo.
The third one right there.
Habang maninayatan mo ang
They're just an inch apart too, and that's happening. So, it doesn't take much room. They don't need a lot of room to get hit by a headbutt.
Yung lalaban niya ni Kai,
Two
ni
southpaws in
Guerrero
there.
kay Ortiz.
Southpaws are usually fighting right-handed, so the whole
8 rounds and 8 rounds.
it's causing a lot of clashes right here. Now here's a beautiful shot by Guerrero. Another left uppercut. That's not the first one he's landed in this fight, right?
Round 6. Victor Ortiz in the white trunks, Robert Guerrero in the red. Guerrero, 38 years old again, has been Robert Guerrero as Ortiz able to get a little more vigor on his shots. I mean, it will come down to, Joe, the level of energy down the stretch. Who has what?
I agree.
Look, Ortiz has a little surge here now. You can see it. Heidi Angel was listening in on the corner, and Guerrero was telling his father, I can see. It's almost closed up, but not completely.
Not completely, and look, you can still see the slit. It looks sometimes worse than you'd imagine. You can see more than you think. And again, if you get that ice cold piece of metal on the inside, you can reduce the swelling over the course up to the rounds, and then if you move it again in the outside direction, moving the blood out there, it can relieve the swelling there too. So it's a few things. It might come back, or it just might have to fight with that little slit the rest of the fight.
70% of this fight at close range, and as both fighters start to tire, and you continue, that number might go up. They are comfortable fighting on the inside, both because high success. Ortiz, nice body jab there, another jab to the body by Victor Ortiz. Ortiz is an accomplished thespian, Joe. Right? He's been an acceptable story rate on it. It's pretty good. Wants to build on that. But missed the fight.
Funny enough, Victor Ortiz and I shared the stage one time. He was the team leader for some of the we had a whole process.
Who else was with him?
Oh, it was Victor Ortiz, Ray Mercer,
Ray Mercer.
Oh, yeah, Ray Mercer.
Southpaw. He's a man who's once dancing with the stars, the IMDb page, right? Which you're familiar. You and all your actor friends out in Hollywood. 6th round of Marvel is the action. You're getting ready for the main event. Who has what's left? And again, Guerrero is 4 years older than Ortiz.
And Lane Brewster, by the way, was the last.
Okay. I want to leave out others. Ortiz trying to smother these shots moving forward. That's a nice left hand to the head. Ortiz able to make some hay. And to your point, like, they're going to have something happen here in order to become a viable opponent for somebody. And again, the welterweight division is a solid 15 deep world class. And there's excellent welterweights that aren't even in the top 10 that you see in main events like Jamal James of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And everyone needs guys to fight. And it could be one of these two with some success.
Yeah, they have a deep bench. as they say in baseball, right?
Yeah.
Well, I like that. I like that gentlemanly handshake at the end of that round. I think it was
Disrespect between
It
the
really
two.
was. You're right.
I mentioned it before, but even outside of the top 10, a guy like Amonte Stenionis, I thought was fantastic on our air a few weeks back. He's number 10. And then Jamal James, Abel Ramos, Ramos, who fought very hard again. By the way, lost a split decision. We didn't agree with that against Ugas.
That's right.
But he fought hard. Mikey Garcia is even in the top 10. So,
Yeah.
there's been a welterweight crash with those young fighters, Virgil Ortiz, Stenionis, You've had your guys go up against him.
Yeah.
And at the very top of the food chain, it's Errol Spence Jr. And hopefully Terrence Crawford will be able to break through and maybe get a fight against one of these PBC fighters, stars, like Sean Porter. Ugas has a belt. They'll fight for the WBA belt tonight. They're top 5 welterweights. I haven't called it a championship fight, because I think I would have called it a championship fight if Errol Spence was in there. You have to have some consistency.
Yeah, and I will tell you, you said it was like, does have drawn Emesis the same? To me,
There's star talent on the rise, boy.
yeah. He, like I say, he's a welterweight and a middleweight spot. That's huge.
And Stenionis, I thought, was just tremendous on our end. Oh, you've seen him before. He was on the undercard. That's it. Against Dennis. Here, round number 7, scheduled for 10. I think slowing down a bit between these two. Guerrero giving it his all. Ortiz just a little springer. But look at that. Punches landed, dead even. I'm not sure Larry has it reasonably close as well.
You want a chance?
Larry's right there. Larry, how do you have it scored?
Lucky 58, 56. Slightly ahead.
Thank you, Larry. That's your Andy Hall moment. I happen to have Marshall with a woman right here. You know nothing of my work. That's hard to the graphic only. If I fight in a phone booth, what? See the eye closing there for Guerrero again. Just so game. And you know what? In that fight against Omar Figueroa, he had to be beaten down and convinced to stop. He would not stop fighting.
And they got dropped. How many times did he?
5 times.
Yeah. And I gotta tell you, Omar Figueroa is a rough character, and he can punch. Heavy hand. Just like this. Very heavy.
Final minute of round number 7. Slow down here a bit once again. Big crowd here at the T-Mobile Arena. Ryan Kenny and Joe Goose here ringside. Larry Hazard, official scorer, upstairs. Kate Abdo, Sean Porter, and Keith Furman. Sean is going to join us down here for the main event. Wait, we're going to make room, Joe.
There's plenty of room.
By the way, I could have a big fall. Just talked about Caleb Plant. Going up against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, the negotiations had broken down, and Joe, they picked back up. Eureka. They're going to fight November 6th, and in October, the heavyweight championship of the world. It was pushed back, but it is on schedule. You'll see Tyson Fury go up against Deontay Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, against the former champion.
Between tonight, Caleb Plant, Canelo, Fury, Wilder. It's an incredible way to pull the
Touch gloves once again. And here is that card. We'll look closer here. It's a night of heavyweights. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, heavyweight championship of the world. Frank Sanchez against Edgar Chapa. That's a good fight.
And the next one is going to be a rematch between Hellenius and Kovnatsky, which was a
stunner in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was. Kovnatsky got stopped by Hellenius.
So that's Saturday, October 9th. Initial thoughts, Joe Goosen, Brian Kenny with Joe Goosen here ringside. Thoughts on Fury and Wilder? Wilder, I thought, could really benefit from a little more time. Your thoughts on that?
And I think he got not the idea that the League Scott, a former fighter, is now a trainer for Deontay Wilder. I think he's going to be he's fought everybody. And he's all over the world sport. He's a very intelligent guy. I think the revenge factor is very important for Deontay Wilder. I just think it's I think it's going to be just like Deontay Wilder showing up.
I think there's a better chance now. The court order came down. Fury was going to that's a number of the belts in the heavyweight division. He's as highest as well. he should be done at some point. He's coming into the mix as we get into round 8. But it happened very quickly by the time the court order came down, and then the injunction granted, and the fight was announced, and Tyson Fury kind of pushed the fight back. Gives Deontay Wilder a little more extended time to get ready and get his mind ready as well.
I think he needed that time. He has to learn some things that Fury's going to bring to the table. He's going to have to defend against offensively and defensively. And I think Blake Scott knows exactly what those are. And if Wilder is receptive to his instruction, it's going to be real beneficial in this fight against Fury.
October 9th, heavyweight championship of the world. And here, Guerrero and Ortiz. And you know what? Again, we know what we're looking at. But I also thought, probably what you thought, Joe, hey, this is evenly matched. 2 old warriors coming back. But it turned out it has been. Now, not a lot of energy left on these guys, but someone is going to get a chance to win this fight, and still 3 rounds to go.
And they're kind of both doing the same thing. The styles are almost identical. They're both inside fighters for the most part at this stage of the game. They've got certain skills that they're applying in this fight. And they're both being effective to a certain point, and there's a lot of give and take. These are both smart old veterans, and they know what to expect, and they know what's coming back at them. So that's where the give and take is in play here. And it's kind of a hard fight to judge right now. Even Larry Hazard had it very close.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, you've got to have a high level of concentration and scoring each round. And there's not a lot of separation. It's a good way of saying it. Punches landed, there's no separation. What about 1 and 2?
It's a safer fight on the inside, to tell you the truth at this point. If they were both winging them from arm's length distance, you'd be seeing guys get clipped, maybe drop, hurt, or staggered. Here, at least you can feel what's coming, and you sense what's coming, and you can protect yourself a little bit better on the inside. It's actually safer. A lot of people don't realize that the inside can be safer.
Ortiz able to throw it up with and edge back Guerrero with a right hand, strafing across and whack it in the head on the way back. And it comes down to the level of conditioning now, and what's left of the fighting spirit of these 2 old warriors. Ortiz is only 34, but there's this range before. Miles on the odometer. They've been through a lot in life, they've been a lot. Again, long amateur career, successful amateur. Took just a lot of rounds in the gym. I'm back at 34 and 2 rounds left to try to make something of himself and make a comeback on the welterweight scene. Now, what is it like if you're Manny Pacquiao on a big day like this? Most guys say, hey, lay low, just get some sleep. No, not Manny Pacquiao. He's got like about 50 people in the suite. Sounds like Ella in Manila poster it's presented with. Looks like, he's like the senator, coming in. So what can I do for you? What can I help you with now?
He's just, just to put it bluntly, he's a real guy. He's a likable man,
Lovable, really. And he's surrounded by people. He wants to help everyone that he possibly can. He's a physical marvel, as you can see right there. That's about warrior, the happy warrior. And still the hand speed is there. What I'm wondering, Joe, is the foot speed there. I rewatched Pacquiao and Keith Thurman to see Ugas getting ready. What was remarkable was the foot speed was still there. Keith Thurman was putting hands on him, but then he was out sticking around. And he do that tonight, 2 years later against Ugas.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's hard to ever underestimate. I think you can see Pacquiao tonight. Maybe even better than the last fight. I keep contending. He looks better.
He's trained harder. Body shots dead even here in this one through 8. We're in round 9 now. Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero in the red trunks. Ortiz in the white, getting ready for the main event. That's next. Manny Pacquiao, and you're finishing Willis.
I noticed him from the outside a little bit. This is the first few seconds of this round. This will give the crowd a little bit more excitement. And plus, see, you can get hurt. It's on that long left hand. That's what can happen when you're in the league. When you're on the inside, you have to move your body.
Nullify that power.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the pushes, as you pointed out, it's well put. You can extend, you can snap a little bit more, and there'll be a little more action from these two. Now they slow down. Again, there's a burst of energy at the start of the round. Guerrero now up on his toes. Guerrero able to caught actually with Ortiz springing it. Guerrero goes to work.
Oh, that's a nice combination by Guerrero, and then a great counter hook by Ortiz.
Ortiz punches just a little short, counter nicely. Not going to break any copy box records here tonight between these two, but they want to get back on the scene. Crowd is
That's it.
It's something to drink.
On round 10.
You're right. There's nothing after this. It's the main event. That's it.
You know, these two guys have given us some great years. I have a hard time booing this fight. They're giving it their all. They train hard. They've given us a lot of great years, a lot of great fights. And let's let them their efforts tonight.
Honest efforts of both.
Follow
And it's just what it is. Just so with you're not going to top that. Yeah, even Carlos Castro, Oscar Escandón. Where we've seen wars here today in Las Vegas. But what is on the way? Big tester of Dennis Ugas, and he has been dominant against a very high level of competition. But at the very highest, did come up short. Split decision, lost a short quarter in a very close fight. What can he do against Manny Pacquiao? Find out next. Combination there by Guerrero. Ortiz forces him back into the corner. Final 20 seconds, round number 9.
I think Guerrero's one of the better punches. This round, I think he has it. He landed those good shots in the beginning of the round.
He's now connected to 18-7, Joe, so you're onto something. Right? That's a copy box for the group. One more round to go. Okay.
Hey guys, one round na lang.
So Mike Rodriguez scored a great considerably. This may be
The final round, they're going to fly. See who else left. That's how much. Let's see if we can go 3 minutes. 15 to 20.
Yeah, these guys have really given them a better age for the time they've been out there. For the amount of fights they've had and what's going this way.
Both came out with what energy they had left. There's still room in it. Very well. Could go down.
And 13 seconds. 10 last minutes.
Larry Hazard, how do you have it scored going into the final round?
I got Ortiz up by 1 point. 86 cases.
Oh, I think it's a draw, guys.
He's and he gets his shots back. And that's the only reason why he's ahead right now. He's just outworking Guerrero a little bit. He's making Guerrero look like the older one fighter. So I got him ahead by 1 point.
That's close though, Larry. Thank you so much. You got 1 point swing. No, well, that's nothing.
Yeah, so if you could probably come down this round. And look, if Ortiz has had the first part of this round, Guerrero leads the second part of this round. Let's see if he turns the heat on Ortiz.
Tim Cheatham, Len Feldman, David Silverlink are the judges. One quick question. Is it less than optimal to have Freddie Roach in the corner for the previous 2 fights while Pacquiao's in the dressing room?
That's a good question. I never liked it myself. I like being with my fighter.
Usually you might have 1 in that final 4. Usually not the last 2 before this fight.
Although they've been in
yet, it's better to be in there. They know the dance of Pacquiao's game.
If I was the main event at a big fight like this, I really wanted to be the only fight I had that night. Unfortunately, that's not how it always works right now. Gym full of fighters that are on the card.
So I say it's optimal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less than optimal might not
That's right.
factor into it. Final 30
Yeah,
seconds.
that's 20 seconds now.
The final round.
Maybe you can.
Guerrero, Victor Ortiz. You should see maybe last box against Guerrero. Line it up with what he has left. Ortiz smothers him. Guerrero trying. Maybe that sort of thing is enough to make an impression upon the judges. That's what I'm sorry.
Last few seconds to do it.
Just before the bell.
We are in Ortiz upon Guerrero.
Both fighters giving up what they had. I don't know how it's going to swing on the judges' cards, Joe. I really don't. Larry Hazard has an 1.5. These three judges going to have to fight over Guerrero Ortiz 3. In a series of fights. I don't think so. But to your point, a man with a W here has a bit of juice on the open market. Say, hey, look, just got this win. I came back. So, and look, it's a dangerous position against one of these young guns coming up in welterweights, but they are a name on the resume. For better or worse, that's how it works. And good respect there from Guerrero and Ortiz. Guerrero never threw less than 50 punches in any round, so he did work. See, the punches landed, according to copy box, 142 to 127.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Guerrero throwing 650 punches, throwing 507 power punches as well. And they nullified a lot of shows at close range when he was throwing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, it was a lot of them today. Turns out, punch staff that Guerrero threw more.
That'll be an interesting decision. Again, it's not easy. That's why when we see what we don't agree with, we try not to go full listen because it is difficult. And here's an example of where either way you swing, and maybe you thought Guerrero just stood him up in almost each and every round. You had him wide. Doesn't mean Ortiz was never in the fight. It means he just lost a lot more rounds.
No, right.
That said, we don't know which way it went. Jimmy Lennon knows though. He's got. He does have the scorecard. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision as all three judges scored about the same, 96 to 94. All three in favor of the winner, Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
And that makes sense. Those are Joe. It's that close, 96-94, and just barely for Robert Guerrero, who seemed to do a little more. Ortiz by 150 punches, so maybe that was enough. Robert.
He's heard it all before, hasn't he? We're going to find out whose words will be gospel soon enough. Welcome along. We are inside the T-Mobile Arena here. The energy in this room is big right now. I can tell you that people are ready for Manny Pacquiao to come out, especially after that last.
Now, a master of southpaws, can you master Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah.
Okay. Manny Pacquiao is not your typical southpaw. I mean, even when he was ducking and dodging and moving and grooving, he shoots at just different angles that my 23 years of boxing, only a very few to box at that kind of fast. And Manny Pacquiao is a master of being unpredictable.
So if you could give your next final piece of advice before he makes this walk, what would your advice to him be?
Do your best, fight your fight, but do not underestimate Manny Pacquiao.
It feels like the common consensus. I know, Sean, you think that Manny Pacquiao will go in there and will be a better fighter than he was in 2019. Do you believe that Manny Pacquiao can come in a better fighter than the fighter that you fought in 2019?
And they say that wine only gets better in age. Manny Pacquiao is the wine of boxing.
At some point, it goes sour, though, Keith.
My God.
That's trouble right now. That might be tomorrow when he announces his retirement. At the end of the day, everything that we've seen has only been greatness.
Why is Dennis Ugas so underrated? Because it feels like it's not about his fighting quality. He was a big underdog when he went in against you and saw what he could do. Is it just that lack of name recognition?
It's like a name recognition. He's had quiet wins, even the big wins that he's had were, relatively quiet in the division. So I think that's why he's been overlooked and in some fashion underestimated. But tonight could be his night. Remember that he's a Cuban fighter. He was great in Cuba. His goal was to come over here and be great here. Took a 2-year layoff, not expecting that to happen. Came back, and he's only coming back to be great. He's determined. Look at him right now. The determination in his heart to become great in America is tonight.
If he has that greatness, he needs to pull it out tonight and show it to us. We've seen a lot of goodness. I want to see Ugas' greatness.
You are so right. This is his moment. He knows it. We are getting ever closer now to tonight's main event. Before we get there, let's hear from one of tonight's sponsors. It's the minus 160 favorite tonight. That means you need to bet that much to earn a return of $100. Ugas is a plus 275 underdog. That means that a $100 bet will give you $275 back. I'm not going to ask you anything about the betting because I know you've got as much info as I do, which is absolutely not. Let me come to you because what you don't know at home is that today Keith Thurman made all the rest of us late because he was busy placing his bets. Have you got your betting slips in your pocket?
I do.
Do you want to pull them out?
I don't want to pull them out, but I'll say that I took the bets that pay the most. So those who pretty much, you should have a clue of what I bet on. So if you want me to say it, Kate?
Go ahead.
All right, so I put money down on the draw. Draws pay a lot. We don't see it that often, but it happens. If Ugas is going to step up and Pacquiao's going to step up, this might be a close fight. If it comes a draw, I get money in my pocket. Everybody else loses tonight.
I don't know. Nothing you say. All I know is you better had a bet with DraftKings. That's what you should have did. I hope you did that.
I know you don't bet. I know you also don't give predictions, but at least give me a taste of how you think this one is going to go. What should we expect?
Early, Manny Pacquiao.
That's simple. Keith?
Well, I don't really know what's going to happen tonight. I'm here looking forward to what does happen, just like everybody else.
That is the beauty of boxing. You just never know. And here we go, everybody. Let's send you over one final time to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Maybe then.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring out our fighters for the main event of the evening, at this time we ask you to rise for the singing of the national anthems. First, we present the national anthem of the Philippines, and to lead us from the Black Eyed Peas family, please welcome Epic Records recording artist J.J. Soul.
Not like this. Yan na. Sobrang tayo ni Pacquiao. National anthem of the Philippines. Hey, Jay.
pag-ibig sa mandudumi. Di ka pasisingin sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bughaw. May ang tula at awit sa panayang minamahal. Ang kislam ng watawag mo'y tayo, may nananginig. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan kung may di mapinig. Lupa ng araw ng luwag, hati pasinta, buhay lang isa piling mo. Ang bigaya ng pag may mag-aapi, ang mga teginang dahil sa'yo.
Yan na. First round. Only national anthem of Cuba.
And please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we present the national anthem of the United States. And to lead us, singer, songwriter, and producer, please welcome Mean Girl.
Hey, dude. I'm gonna come back.
Why the heart hurt you? What's so bad in at the twilight's last, who brought lights at the right time? Do the painless fire for the rain of me white was the gladness to be seen, and the rocket's red light, the boat bursting in air, carried through the night, that our flag was still. Oh, say those eyes are saying the bad way. For the land of the free and the home of
USA.
Ready now for the main event. And let's go to the tail of the tape. Manny Pacquiao is 42 years of age, 5'5" and a half, 146. He makes welterweight easily. Dennis Ugas, more than full-size welterweight. He's 35 years old. He's been around a while, but full 5'9". He's got a height advantage, reach advantage, a little shorter, 67 inches, 69 inches. Professional years in baseball. That's only what Nolan Ryan and Jim Cox, 27 years as a pro, and this is professional boxing. Manny Pacquiao, a world champion from 112 pounds all the way up to 147. Full house at the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas as we get ready for the main event.
Shout out.
And the return of the icon, Manny Pacquiao. Sean Porter joining us down here ringside. Brian Kenny, Joe Goosen, and former welterweight champion Sean Porter. We have a moment here as we wait for your Dennis Ugas. Ugas getting ready to go and walk in. There he is on his way. Number 54, Chapman closer for the New York Yankees. Ugas is the world champion, Olympic bronze medalist. And he found himself disillusioned in the pros, started to fall short of expectations. But he came back in 2016, and he's been fulfilling ever since, winning 11 of 12. That one loss, a split decision loss, razor close to Sean Porter. And this moment, He goes from the most avoided fighter in boxing to a man with a golden opportunity, stepping in for Errol Spence and getting a shot at a living legend.
Y los sueños. Después sueño mío y que se fue. Y pues aquí, metió uno de los mejores pesos muertos del mundo.
Inactive for 2 years. More than 2 years. Muy bien. Mira que acá.
Chance of a lifetime. Here with Ugas, he looks happy as he walks in by himself into the middle of the ring here in the T-Mobile Arena. And now it's time for the living legend, Manny Pacquiao. I've really never seen anything like this man before. A legitimate world champion, 112 pounds, all of his career. Before he made that stratospheric rise in weight, a flyweight who would go to beat De La Hoya, Hatton, Cotto, Margarito. Or would-be world champions from junior welterweight to middleweight. Not even world champions, some guys with belts. 20 years ago, Pacquiao announced himself on the scene with the stirring destruction of the long-reigning world champion. Pacquiao came in on 10 days' notice for the chance and became one of the biggest fighters in history, a Filipino legend. And we tried to find someone to put it in the proper perspective, and we did just that with the man himself, Larry Birch.
Manny Pacquiao is surely one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. He is one of a kind. I recall thinking, I don't know who this guy is. I never heard of him, but I'm going to see him again. You can't make up Manny's smile. It was bigger than he is. It's a rare thing when he walked toward the ring. People sort of fell in love with him. He was a boxer banger, a fighter who had untapped power, speed that just knocked everyone out. There is an electricity wherever Manny Pacquiao goes. And certainly when he goes to Las Vegas, the electricity is bursting through all of the walls. Manny is in town. We have very few stars in boxing today. And one of the reasons that Manny Pacquiao is fighting is because he is a star.
Something happening. But what the light is something?
Money, good money.
I tell you, just reflexively break into a smile when you see Manny Pacquiao come out and throw that energy and that love right out there as he gets ready to fight on at the age of 42. Brian Kenny ringside here with Joe Goosen and Sean Porter joining us as well. Sean, give me something you're looking for early in this fight. What are you expecting? What is important to you?
It's important for you Ugas to use the jab. Listen, we all know that the southpaw or the jab doesn't land that much. However, you use the jab to control your fighter. Control Manny Pacquiao with the jab. And then on Manny's side, use the head fast hands, the fast feet, and that'll lead you to the success you've always had.
Yeah, you're right on time with that. You know exactly what you're talking about. And let me just tell you, that will listen, I give credit where credit's due. The bottom line is this: Pacquiao has a way of upsetting any plans that you might have, and that's what he's planning on doing against Ugas. We'll see how it unfolds. So.
Well, let's soak this in and relish this opportunity one more time at the very least. And go to the ring and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the feature bout of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions and MP Promotions, as sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. That was the only top-rated sportsbook app that matters. Along with the Air Force Reserve, start your adventure by going to afreserve.com and Cop Shop. Like big hits, German Stars and Cop Shop. Rated R, only in theaters September 17th. What fans are made event is sanctioned by the WBA, the president, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. Introducing to you our three judges scoring from ringside: Dave Mahdi, Patricia Morse-German, and Steve Weisfeld. All right, fans, here we go with a bout you've all been waiting for. Boxing for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing you first on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Santiago de Cuba in Cuba. He's only in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. His record stands at 26 wins, 4 losses with 12 wins by way of knockout. Here is the 2008 Olympic bronze medalist tonight, making the first defense of his world title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current reigning and defending WBA welterweight champion of the world, introducing 54 Milagros, your ladies, Ugas. Hands apart across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, really needing no introduction. Looking like some strip blades, as the boxing center, he's fighting out in brown, representing the Suriname province in the Philippines. He weighed in at 291.46 pounds. As a true icon of boxing, his record stands at 62 wins, 7 losses and 2 draws, with 39 wins by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 4-time welterweight world champion and boxing's legendary and only 8-division champion of the world, introducing the one and the only With the referee in charge now give instructions, Russell Moore.
Center ring, gentlemen. Center ring. Mouthpiece. Trunks here, good.
Moving out.
Trunks here, good. Anything along this mountain line is a foul. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you. Don't touch up.
42 years old, 2 years removed from his last fight. His wife Jackie there. His family here. He's got a huge entourage. And even at the age of 42, we somehow expect him to define time the way he's done in physical size. You wonder, his fighting spirit and sense for combat carried the day once again.
Well, if this body language is any indication, he's already out in the middle of the ring.
Here we go, round number 1, Manny Pacquiao.
Ugas.
The jab, there's a double jab immediately from Ugas. Trump Porter, as he pointed out, he's got a beautiful jab. And he steps in with body shots.
You just gotta continue to use that jab. I appreciate the patience of you, Dennis. Use the jab and keep Manny guessing. Make Manny reset. That's what the jab is gonna do. It's gonna force Manny to reset.
You saw how quickly he was able to jump in and get to the body.
That's pretty much what he did with Thurman in the first round. He went out there and unleashed a combination. He's got fast feet still, Manny Pacquiao. And look, Ugas is going to have to deal with Manny's jab too when he does the same throw. So, Ugas is going to have to reach it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
That was a nice jab that Ugas just landed too, fellas. Just stepped it right in and Pacquiao had to respect it.
And that's the thing about Manny. You can get Manny to respect you. You can get some room and some space to operate. And right now, Ugas has the respect because he's creating the distance that he needs.
He jumped right in there and hit him with the right hook. Manny has always been able to close that gap. Marquez knocked him down 3 times with left hands in the first round. Marquez could not find an answer. Ugas, realizing he's in with a very different guy. Hard right hand from Ugas. I mean, look at the fighting spirit for Pacquiao already. It's a very different fight against Keith Thurman. Thurman was the guy who was pressing. Pacquiao was very lucky. Pacquiao so early in the round.
Yeah, he knows he can't stay on the outside of that long reach. Ugas is, I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, Sean?
Yeah, no, he can't stand on the outside. And I think right now, it's a little too much posturing right now, imposing by Manny. I like to see Manny a little bit more of the in and out, but we gotta appreciate the fact that he's 42. And
the fact that Ugas is smart enough to flip you on the way in if you make a mistake. So he's got to be a little bit cautious. I think he threw caution in one like 2 or 3 times in different sets in this round.
I got Ugas' attention as well. I mean, you can see Ugas would like to stand there and throw that long jab out. And he's getting touched by Pacquiao, and he can see the power. And you have to respect the Pacquiao power. Pacquiao says, bring that up. So does Russell Moore.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that Ugas does well. If he blocks or turns on you, he'll come back and counter you with 2 body shots, not just 1, 2.
He throws him hard too, Joe. He'll dig in and throw a hard body shot against Pacquiao, though. As those fighters have found, it's just a different rhythm. It's a different equation.
You see what I'm saying? Look, the jab.
Yeah.
The jab is going to lead to success.
He jumped into that push down. Down as we end round number 1. We will go in the corner of Manny Pacquiao with Freddie Rose.
Like that.
There's Pacquiao jab. I mean, it fell short. All of it fell short except he kept stepping in and the 3rd punch landed. So it took 3 punches for Pacquiao to get him out. Ugas came in with that right body shot. That was a nice belly shot. It landed. That was clean. And Pacquiao tried to throw a right hook off of it. Here we go. Here's Pacquiao throwing a decoy jab, left hand, and then again, the third punch is what landed. And here's where they got inside, and Ugas gave him a good shoulder, and Pacquiao got the top and fell backwards. But I just think the effort alone by Pacquiao won him out.
I agree, but the thing that I liked about Ugas was he wasn't afraid to use the jab to keep Manny off him. But the other thing, that push at the end of the round, respect. You need Manny to respect you. Manny doesn't respect the jab. That's why he's getting hit with the jab.
That was a beautiful counter jab from Ugas too. Round number 1, 21 of his 27 punches thrown were jabs. And not only that, it's an effortless double jab. He puts the first one out, that second one lands again.
And I gotta also say this, remember, your Dennis Ugas is a Cuban fighter, he has a Cuban background 100%. That's an intellectual pilot, those fighters. Very intellectual fighter. So we see the jab right now, Ugas is working accordingly.
Look at championship spot of it. And no one's going to step up to Pacquiao. In 27 years of being a professional, brother's the age of 16 and 98 pounds. I would say even in round 1, good jab by Pacquiao. Pacquiao is still the more menacing fighter, isn't he? We each have the combination. You know he means business.
Pacquiao landed a good jab himself just a second ago. They're not as often as Ugas is throwing this, but Ugas is not really they're not working in other words, he's just throwing an occasional jab right now. He's really holding back on some better power punches that he should be throwing.
Pacquiao was stopped there by a right hand. He's doubling up on the jab, and then the left hand coming off the jab as well. Pacquiao is still busy with his hands. Ugas is outlanding Pacquiao so far in this fight.
I can also see the patience of Manny. It could be Manny is getting hit with the jab. He can't know the fact that Ugas is landing jabs, but I got a feeling Manny's trying to set him up, let him get comfortable, so that he'll open up a little more.
I agree with that, because Manny's always looking for that big shot. But another thing Ugas is doing, Sean, most of the conventional way to move against the southpaw is towards their jab side, but Ugas is moving towards the power shot, the power side of Manny Pacquiao, which is unusual. I encourage the southpaw, but how many guys do that?
But those numbers, by the way, are interesting. Pacquiao is throwing a lot of jabs, but not landing. Ugas is much more accurate. 25 seconds to go here, round number 2. Pacquiao jumps in, tries to trade. Would love to get also a firefight on the inside. Ugas has more power. Pacquiao has to respect that right hand coming up the middle.
Yeah, and again, Pacquiao and Ugas both landed good uppercuts to the belly in that last exchange, one each.
Back to the run of boxing by Ugas. I like everything from Ugas in this round, the jab, the patience, that shell defense that he likes to use, and also timing Manny pretty well with the offhand.
Another jab by Ugas. Stop! It's outlanding Manny Pacquiao through 2 rounds. Take my
What'd you do? What did I get you steady.
Why are you trying to kill me?
You gotta take me first. There's no deal.
But I have to pay, so keep using that jab and follow up with something off that. He's got to keep his hands busy, because if Manny Pacquiao moves his hands more, he's going to win the judges' scoring. That's number 1. Number 2, Russell Mora just warned Ugas the second time in this fight for low blows. So, third time, maybe a charm.
There's Dayanara Leon, your Dennis Ugas' fiance, ringside here as we get into round number 3. And I'm keeping a close eye on the jab connect, 17-6 in favor of your Dennis Ugas as Pacquiao jumps in with a jab immediately.
And the physicality right there of Ugas to push him off. I like that.
That's right. With Russell Mora just warned him, when you're not using you can't push off. It's not
Yeah.
But to be there, gain his respect.
Yeah,
Not going to get pushed around.
Exactly.
Probably not going to deter Manny Pacquiao much. I think that push, especially if he's got the backing of the referee right now. So he's, like I say, Pacquiao is going to win these rounds just by sheer, action just by keeping his hands busy. Because right now, Ugas is not busy. Don't you agree?
No, he's not busy this round. I gave Ugas the second round. And the reason why I gave Ugas the second round is because of his jab. And he was a little more busy in the second than he is now here in the third. But I tell you what, he's giving Manny Pacquiao nothing to solve. Right there.
Right hand there by Ugas comes in. Right after Pacquiao had a counter check. That right hand gets his attention. Pacquiao tries to go to war. Another right hand by Ugas.
I'll tell you what that is. It's a great Cuban hook. It's like a right. It's not straight, but it's not a hook. It comes around your glove. And Manny's not ready for that punch.
Ugas able to block those shots from Pacquiao. At least those. You see the punches landed. Still quite close. And we've got a real fight. We expected it, and we're getting it.
But see that right hand, that little looper right hand that he's throwing, it's only possible because he's edging on the right side of Manny Pacquiao's left side. He's got a nice little view there, and that's how he's landing. Plus, he's trying to set up that straight right hand. He wants to give a little taste around the corner and then come down the middle with it.
And guess what? Manny isn't using his feet. We can speak to him being 42, but he's got to start to use his legs and give Ugas a different look beyond those fast hands that he has.
So what's the look you're looking for?
I'm looking for in and out. I'm looking for in and out. Here's what we knew when we fought Ugas. We knew that he wouldn't move his feet very well, and we knew that we would have a good chance of outboxing him. Moved a lot in that fight because I knew that Ugas didn't have the kind of feet that I have. Ugas doesn't have the feet that Manny has, but Manny's not using it.
Yeah, Pacquiao was not moving around the ring. You're right. Not mobile. He was mobile 2 years ago. You know what it looks like?
They put him right there.
You know what it looks like to me? Looks to me like he was also going for me when he was doing this. He's not interested in doing angles or anything else. He wants to go get him.
He wanted a piece of Ugas there. No question about it. Or through 3 rounds in Las Vegas.
I'd be interested to see what Larry Hadley has to say.
Right here is this is what I call a Cuban right hook. It's straighter than a hook, but it's also got a little loop around it, getting around the jab, the backhand of Manny Pacquiao. And then right there again, the jab is what's gonna lead Ugas to a success. Manny said, hey, throwing everything out the window and I'm coming at you with everything that I got. And this really worked for him right there at the end of the round.
Right, he's a charging bull right now. I don't think he's interested in science as much as he is. Yeah, he don't look good.
Right, he's become the fighter out here against the monster who has Ugas. Normally throws 28 jabs a round. There's a lot of talk out there, mostly on the internet. Bicep is possibly injured. He's throwing 25 jabs. And that's a beautiful double jab. Again, so it doesn't appear that left hand is injured. No. I thought everything on social media was true. Again, Pacquiao go to work again. Ugas able to get a good defense and block those shots.
But again, it's the visual that Pacquiao's giving the judges right now. There's a good right hand. This is the third warning.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I didn't think that was that bad.
So Manny blocks the shot and makes it go lower than it was aimed towards. But you can't get in the way this early.
You okay? Okay. Now you see what Pacquiao's trunks are. To touch part of that. It's that waistband, right? That's up above his belly button. You can hit some of that waistband. Was that low?
Here it is. Look, that's going to probably land right on the belt line, the right hand. Let's see where it goes. He jabs side and takes a position away. Right on the belt line. So, what's that?
I was a little low. Listen, Joe.
Oh, no. It's not the same. It looked to me like it hit the belt line.
Yeah.
Okay? I may not be seeing that correctly, but I think I did see it.
You know what, Joe, to your point, I thought it was fine. Watching it back on replay, I think Russell Moore had a point. It was a little low, and it was a warning, not a point taken away.
Okay, that's the third warning, and right now, Pacquiao again is letting his hands go.
I tell you what Ugas is doing that I'm surprised by. He's actually finishing some of these exchanges, and I didn't expect that to come from Ugas.
You've got to get into the combat to fight Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He's at the age of 42. Seems to want to mix it up, and that's probably his best chance for victory tonight. Very much in the balance here against the game you're going to see us.
Well, Ugas is holding his ground right now. Now he's looking to block and counter. He's saying, throw it, Manny, because I got something back for you. Okay, there he goes again.
From Ugas that time.
Another belt shot, and Russell Moore didn't say anything there, although Manny just touched his belt like, hey, it's low again.
Right hand over the top, partially blocked. Up the middle, Pacquiao tries the left hand. It's a good counter jab again. You see the power punches, Pacquiao outlanding Ugas. In jabs, however, it is 26-17 in favor of the Cuban fighter.
And Manny can't time the jab. You see, every time Manny gets hit with the jab, puts his hands down out of disgust and out of frustration because he can't time the jab right now.
It's a beautiful jab by Pacquiao.
It's three jabs by Pacquiao.
And there's an answer. A little fire, too. Ugas said, yeah, you got me there. He just popped him with his own jab. Ugas has been fighting at world-class level for a long, long time. Right down that knee, touched, and just a slip from Ugas. 5 seconds, round number 4. It has been spirited and action-packed so far.
Was come out here, use your movement, use your speed, and control this fight, control the tempo. That's what I did. Manny does not have control right now, which is why I believe Manny is losing this fight.
You used the ring.
Exactly.
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 I don't know if Manny's losing this fight. I'm not too sure about that, Sean, because, you know, we're both looking at the same fight, but we may have a difference of opinion. I think it's a close fight.
I think so too. Let's get a little indication of that and go to Larry Hazard. Larry, how do you have the score so far?
Well, guys, you carrying on an interesting conversation, but I got Pacquiao ahead, 39-27. Look, Pacquiao has what we call judge appeal. He may not have the quick legs anymore, but he's got those fast hands, and nobody's really learning anything of great significance. So judges tend to score on volume, and that's what Pacquiao is doing. So I got him ahead, 39-37.
Larry, thank you. By the way, punches landed. It's very close. There's a little more power from Pacquiao, but also his face is blocked up a bit. The jabs are not just, feather dusters, just touching him.
He's got swelling below both eyes, but I agree with Larry in the sense that he's got judge appeal. He's like making the action happen for the most part.
And the jabs are landing too. That right hand, you got same double up on the tip. 3-punch combination all on Pacquiao's face.
Pacquiao got those back. He touched him back 3 times.
Well, that's part of the difficulty of judging Joe, too, is that you need to process an awful lot going back and forth. Slows up, shoves to bit, favors Ugas, slaps with the right hand. Jordan Plant is in Ugas' corner. Jordan,
Yes, Ref Moore was just in the corner and said, hey, once love's a warning, next time I see it twice, I'm going to deduct a point. Back to you, Brian.
All right, Jordan, you were talking about that before in the previous Ugas fight. Where he had a point taken away by Moore. And I thought he handled it properly, or didn't. by giving the warning, giving Manny a little bit of time. It was a shade low on his belt. 40 seconds left, round number 5.
In the meantime, Pacquiao slipped in 2 left hands. Had a couple of jabs just like that. And there goes Ugas. Pacquiao was blocked though. There was a good counter shot by Ugas.
Ted Manny's got a high level of energy.
He's on fire tonight. He's on fire.
42-year-old man.
He does not want to lose this fight. He does not want to lose. He does, obviously. But Manny knows how to win fights.
Yeah, Manny knows how to win fights. It's the 5th round, which is why I'm not concerned. However, I do believe that Ugas has more control of this match than Manny Pacquiao.
Chicky is looking up. She can barely look. Big exchange there. But Pacquiao, he wants to make this a war. Wow. He gives you your money's worth. No question.
They're taking an awful long time to get that stool in the corner there. He's just sitting down now for 20 seconds of that. All right, here's some replay, Sean. You know?
Yeah, I'll take Ugas. Look, we got a jab right here from Ugas. Right. This is what's helping him win this fight. Right now, I feel like Ugas is controlling the fight. And then right here, after this exchange, look, boom, the counter immediately. Manny has not picked up the timing and the rhythm of Dennis Ugas. Yeah. And right here, great exchange from both men. But again, Ugas not afraid to go right back there with Manny Pacquiao. It's a great fight.
And I will say, Manny had some of his very good moments in that round. We talked to my Ugas right there. There's a lot of give and take right now. A lot of back and forth. But, we said this, so we're halfway through the match.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to step out of the judging seat, and I'm just going to continue to call the fight. My score doesn't matter either way, so I'll just tell you what I see. What I see is that, look at this, the comfort now of your Dennis Ugas, and also giving Manny Pacquiao different looks. Manny was not as prepared for this fight as Ugas is.
Round 6 now here in Las Vegas. Brian Kenny, Joe Louis, Trump Porter ringside. And Manny Pacquiao has thrown at least 50 more punches in every round. But one key stat, you look at the copy box, the jabs landed. Ugas has the edge 33 to 23. And that jab and that double jab, a big difference. Off the jab, Ugas lands with the right hand. Pacquiao, though, with the energy, and to your point, Joe, that he's got energy, he's landing shots, Larry Hazard knows that as well. There's more aggression in Pacquiao making the fight.
That right hand lands, it's a hook coming around the glove of Manny Pacquiao, but it lands because of the long reach and arms of Dennis Ugas.
You know what else? The jab is making a difference yet. 82% of this fight is spent at distance, just as they are now. So Ugas gets a long look and gets to put out that long jab.
He does, but he spends a lot of time looking. That's what I'm saying. He's active, but I think he could, to impress me more, I think he should be more active. Hey, again, Manny's taking his time. I like Manny's energy, but again, Ugas is coming on this one.
I'll tell you what I like about Ugas, Joe. I like the fact that Ugas is giving different looks. You see that right there? That's the shell defense. And then sometimes he pulls straight back. And then sometimes he's willing to stay right there, just like that, and counter. It's giving Manny, it's a puzzle. And Manny has not solved the puzzle.
Pacquiao able to land an uppercut just before, but then took that bloody right hand once again. See punches landed, it's very close. Right hand again, partially blocked by Pacquiao. It's a man in a real fight. He wanted Errol's best, #1 welterweight in the world, but eagerly took on the challenge of Dennis Ugas, who he knows is for real.
And I gotta wonder with Manny being the pros, now we're in the middle of this fight. Is he gonna flip a switch and do something a little different? I'm wondering if I'm gonna see that. I feel like it needs to happen.
I think if he starts backing up and trying to box, it'll be worse for him to tell you the truth. I think it'll give Ugas a lot more incentive to do what he's doing. I think that's when he should be doing more. Leading the challenge of Ugas coming in out, pressing the judges, trying to get his shots off,
trying to make it throw his hands. Ugas is not from. He's chasing that defensive shell and jabbing just like that. He's going to be able to keep him at distance. Land that right hand. He lands your right hand there as well. Jumps back in. Play through this fight. Let's go. Keep works.
Obviously, the last man to fight Manny Pacquiao before this fight back in 2019. Manny's fighting a different fight this time around.
He's fighting a different fight, but he's definitely fighting a different fighter. You know, Ugas is standing right there in the middle of the ring. He's utilizing that jab. But man, he's still being Manny Pacquiao, fighting with those spurts and those flurries. And that's the hard part about fighting Manny Pacquiao. Because those flurries, he gets so much credit from the judges. And of course, Ugas is doing good with the jab, but the jab's not going to win you fights. If Ugas truly wants to win this fight, he needs to keep letting that straight right hand go. He needs to keep not being worried and trying to touch the body a little bit. Obviously, keep up. He's about to get deducted a point if he keeps doing low blows. But he needs to let the right hand go. He needs to throw power punches. That's one thing that Manny Pacquiao doesn't hesitate on.
Let's get you back ringside for the next round.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, I don't know that jab landing. That can win rounds. It's been close here, and we don't know how the judges will have it. They have top-flight judges for this fight. Dave Moretti, Steve Weisfeld, considered the best in the business. Patricia Morse-Jarman. And you see the jabs landed. Ugas with the big edge, 37-26. Good jab there by Pacquiao. But he's got to make this a firefight. Getting some momentum. And try Ugas back on board. It's a set piece, Joe. I think it more favors Ugas.
Yeah, look, I like what he said. I know it's basically that Pacquiao is a, you know, he throws those flurries, he gets over, he looks good. I think I said it to Sean earlier. I think this is going to start going right. So, you know, there's a lot to be said on the competitors here. But regardless, it's a very competitive fight. I don't think anyone's running away with it.
No question. Curry there by Pacquiao. Most of those shots blocked. Ugas was able to land that right hand. As he throws a glance and throws a vicious combination toward Pacquiao. He's not just boxing, moving, and keeping him at bay. He's standing in and trading with Pacquiao.
Well, yeah, look, he's got great skills. You know, Sean said it. The Cubans are taught very well. He's got good head movement. He's got good radar. He knows what's coming. And then he slips and comes back this time. So, you know, it's a type of fight that he's capable of fighting and doing well with.
Pacquiao with some scoring shots there, but it comes down to scoring moves. How often are you landing your shot, and then what damage are you incurring? I mean, those shots are landing from Ugas.
Look at that right there. Ugas is picking moments to let go of his hands. And he has success. He does it.
That was a three-punch combination. Landed two of them. Round number 7, scheduled for 12. Ugas able to move Pacquiao back just a bit. Pacquiao fires back, tries to get close. Look at that double jab up in the right hand for Ugas.
That's what I expect of Ugas. If he wants to win this fight, I would like to see him do that. Throw those hard, long shots off the jab. Don't waste a good jab. The jab is a setup for your next punch.
Yeah, don't waste a good jab. I like that.
Again, more if Pacquiao is not closing the gap, then he allows Ugas to pick his spots, control distance, and make it a fight when he wants to make it a fight. So far, he's been able to do that. Punches landed, still very close. Slight favoring Ugas. Right hand lands for Ugas. Another right hand. Pacquiao now time to fire back. You wonder how much energy does this man have at the age of 42? Can he pick up the pace? Can he slip it into another gear at his age? Ugas says, I'm right here. I'm right here. A lot of jabs in this fight, mostly from Ugas here, Joe.
Hey, listen, I'm a fan of the jab. I say I'm nothing without my jab. Look at the long jab of your Dennis Ugas. I know Keith said you can't win the fight with just the jab. However, Joe, I feel like the jab is setting it up for you, Dennis.
Well, I don't think any of us disagree about the jab, but I think you do agree. You utilize the jab to do what should come next.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was coming right there.
Right.
You're right. The double jab sets up the right hand. Don't waste the good jab. I love it, Jim.
Damian Lillard here.
Joe.
How
do you know that?
Oh, I don't know that. I'm not here.
Oh, because Dave is my guy.
Oh, well, no, we're talking about JJ. Hold on, let me have my cousin call.
Hey, listen, he's a go mill in the Olympic Games.
Now, listen, that's all well and good. But right now,
I'm just saying, he knows what he's talking about.
Round number 8, Manny Pacquiao at the age of 42, 2 years removed from the ring, but came back, shot the world. He's able to outpoint split decision over Keith Thurman, who's here with us tonight. On a very different fight so far this one. Again, Pacquiao had a knockdown in round 1 that gave him momentum. And it's Keith Thurman, right-hand lance for Ugas.
I say what? I say this, in the fight against, it's going to be Errol Spence Jr. I say, you know what? If this fight gets to the back half, 8 to 12, I'll go for Manny Pacquiao. And I'm starting to feel the same way about this fight against Ugas. So I feel like it's getting later in this, and it could swing Ugas away.
Let's go Larry Hansen. Larry, how do you have it through 7?
I got Pacquiao ahead by 1 point, 67-66. But Ugas is coming back. So far in this round, I got Ugas ahead right now. We'll see how this round ends up. But right now, I got Pacquiao ahead by 1 point, 67-66.
yeah, years ago, but now we're coming back.
Again, I think he's been in it the whole time.
Was Larry included in on the day? Okay.
Okay, so then whoever felt like Manny Pacquiao was controlling this fight and
Not control. Nobody said that word. All they said was,
I know their right hand is strong.
at the beginning of the fight, Pacquiao was throwing the combinations. And Ugas was much more passive than he is now. Second half of the fight, he's turning it on. He's throwing hard shots behind the jab. Nobody's going to deny that. He's fighting more.
That right hand lands into the body as well. Coming back again, throwing that jab up and landing that right hand. Again, it comes down to scoring shots. These are competitive rounds. There's no question about that. Ugas is cut a bit as well.
That's why they had Mike Rodriguez in the corner in between them. Mark Saddles out. And Rodriguez stopped the bleeding on that fight.
They got a little cut right over the line. That's that much. And then they start to exchange. 30 seconds to go here, round number 8.
Well,
way to go.
Here's the adjustment for Manny Pacquiao. Finish your combination and do that right there. Get off. Get to the right of that. Get to the right side. Get to the left side. Ugas away from that right hand.
Yeah, even if he moves away, though.
Exactly. Too much movement straight backwards.
Get a chance to come back and answer that hook. I got a grazing hook off the side of his head. Ugas has been able to have all the answers here against Manny Pacquiao.
Ugas found a home to that right hand now. That's all there is to it.
And JP can barely watch, looks up, concerned for her husband. There's that right hand.
Look, because when the right hand comes, it's normally coming straight. No, I don't think Manny's ever seen a fighter who throws a right hand like that. And the Cubans are known for throwing that right hand. And Manny, I don't think he's ever seen that right hand come.
Where you saw his hand with the parry, where he thought it was a straight right hand,
Yep.
and it came around. Yeah. But he's been geeked up. Look, I mean, Ugas is tricky that way. The throw him down the middle, get you thinking there, get you the parry, use your hand there, then come around.
Ugas has been able to land 60% of his power shots. That is increasing now. And again, Russell Moore is warning Ugas again. Think of the guys Ugas has beat, by the way, since that 2-year layoff. Frank Wallman, Jamal James, Ray Robinson, Thomas Delorme, Omar Figueroa, Mike Dallas Jr., Abel Ramos, inexplicably a split decision.
And I apologize. I was stitched around working on the cut in Ugas' corner.
And so I got last there for a moment, so they both stopped and then touched gloves to re-engage. You see, power punches landed in favor of Manny Pacquiao, 65-59. It is close. The jabs connected still in favor of Ugas, 45-32. That's not how you score the fight, but it gives you an indication of who's landing what. Round number 9 against scheduled for the championship 12. And Manny Pacquiao once again being put to the test. That's what you have. That's what happens when you fight the top fighters. And Ugas is one of the top fighters in the world. And you wonder how much is left in the tank of Manny Pacquiao. The face is marked up a bit. The energy level a bit on the wane.
Yeah, the last 3 rounds, Ugas really has turned up the heat. This is why I believe this is one of the I'm going to give credit what I think he's doing around the fight. He's not being busy, and he's frustrating. He's not a clean shot. I tell you the truth, even if he's busy at that, he cannot let a clean shot there. I think the Ugas is.
But Manny finally keeping that left hand right there to block that right hand. And also, I feel like Manny's energy's up a little bit this round, and he's changing the rhythm a little bit this round.
Well, he's guaranteed he's been over in the corner, look, the corner behind. You're going to lose this fight if you don't win these next few rounds. We're in the ninth round right now. You know, again, it's a 42-year-old man. You've seen Pacquiao just be able to, he can go through a wall through his whole career. But can he do it again and again? It's difficult. If you didn't build a points lead early, it's going to be tough to come back. Yeah, again, that's it. Punches landed still very close. We don't know how the judges ladder.
Well, I felt like that was what he did against Keith Thurman. I felt like he controlled the first half of the fight, maybe a little more than that, and then Keith came on late at the end. In this case, Manny's got to keep the foot on the gas, but we will continue to fall behind.
Ugas with the combination. And not only that, he keeps Pacquiao tries throwing his hands on. All those shots are blocked. Ugas comes back. Again, Ugas able to keep it re-engaged with it, where they're able to fight from distance and box the way he wants to box. Look at that. That's a beautiful counter off the right hand. Ugas comes back to that right hook. That's
Good right hook right there to the body by Manny Pacquiao.
well, that's Pacquiao counter punching by Ugas. He's capable of that. There he is. Look, there's no doubt he's having a much better second half of this fight. You know, Ugas step back. Stand right in front of him. He could be winning all these rounds.
Okay, next power punches na right.
Nos vamos por allí, ¿verdad? Dame.
Okay, now we're in
Ponle la toalla.
with the towel behind his neck.
Tranquilo,
Nice and calm. Nice and we have him. Nice and calm.
Yolene, la amenaza. Hace falta que te imponga.
What you need to do is impose yourself here in this fight now.
Acuérdate. Con todo lo que tú quieras.
Remember, you can do whatever you want in this fight.
Cojones. Todo lo que tú quieras.
Take advantage of everything here. This is yours.
Y cuando le ganen, rompe.
Diana Leon, Ugas' fiance, smiling here. His corner is feeling it as well. Pacquiao still throwing 60 punches around, but hasn't landed more than 11 since round 5. As we get now to round number 10, Manny Pacquiao, Dennis Ugas, and Ugas. We don't know if he's assumed control, but he could be doing enough to win a lot of these rounds. Well, I don't think there's any question in the last 3-4 rounds. It's swung to Ugas' favor. But, Salas is not going to rely on that. You told him that you've got to assert yourself. And in other words, don't leave any doubt as to who's winning these rounds. Because we are in the 10th round right now. So, and Pacquiao famously has fantastic engine. But again, he's older. He's 42.
So what I like the coaching right there.
This is Pacquiao's chance to fight. Ugas very strong on the inside.
I like the coaching. Like Simon said, you gotta impose yourself. Don't leave it. Take everything that's there. He also told me he did his job. I love that coaching.
Good hard right hand by Ugas. Right off the jab, too. Put it up as a blinder and comes down with the hammer. Pacquiao begins to slow now. Still obviously dangerous in exchanges. Tries with the jab. Some of those shots blocked. Doubling up on the jab. Ugas again follows with the right hand.
Manny keeping that left hand at home. Quite a few rounds went by with Manny getting caught with a clean right hand by Ugas. Now he's keeping that left hand at home.
Ugas landed the right hand to the body. Pacquiao able to land. Come in with the right hand. And coming up way short with that left hand. You see that triangle power. He's coming up short this round. With 3 out of the 4 punches he's gone. And usually that left hand, Joe, that's the one that caught Keith Thurman. Knocks it down again. The one that drilled Marquez again and again. That's the power shot. If Ugas landing now, sending the sweat flying out of his head. Long arms, tall, and a very clever fighter. That's what he's got in front of him.
Exactly. I saw 3 looks from your Dennis Ugas in this fight. Moments where he did that right there, he took control. Moments where he let Manny throw and he just blocked. And then also moments where he would step back like that. And then there's one more where he'll stay and exchange. Manny hasn't been able to find the range in the distance because of that. Those different looks, those different ways of defending Manny Pacquiao's punches has kept Manny guessing virtually his entire fight.
And the pace slows. Ugas able to take the air out of the ball on Pacquiao. Good hard right hand off the jab again. He's landing clean shots. Pacquiao able to land his jab. He knows he's going to have to force the action.
Yeah.
That's round 10.
All right, here we go. We got a couple of replays. I think this is the part where they both went at it. And Pacquiao landed hard and Ugas landed hard. There was a short right hook by Pacquiao. That was about it. That was a total miss by Pacquiao with both hands going. Here's Ugas. Flush right down the straight, right down the middle with the jab. He's going to hook right around that hand again with about the 15th time in this fight. And here's Ugas back with the jab, double jab. Straight right hand grazed off of Pacquiao, grazed off his arm, grazed by his face. And here's Ugas again. He's having a good second half of the fight. Manny turned to right out that right hook. The left hook never came. So he's got Manny on edge about that sweet right hand right now. He's reacting to it and reacting to another punch that didn't even come. So Ugas is having his way the last half of the fight.
Ugas has outlanded Pacquiao in 8 of 10 rounds. You can make a case not just the second half of the fight, first half of the fight as well.
Well, again, I thought Pacquiao was much busier. Whether or not he was landing solid punches, he just looked like he was more active in the first 5 rounds.
6 minutes left for Manny Pacquiao to try to close the gap. We believe. Oh, yeah. We don't have the scorecards. We don't know.
But since the 7th round, I think Ugas has just been, piling up the points.
I'll tell you, the 2 things I like to see from Manny is his feint. I think the feint's going to open some things up for Manny. And then also use the feet a little more and try to set up his offense. I don't think he's done that this entire fight.
Pacquiao just does not present the same threat to Ugas here. Ugas not only a supreme boxer, but a very strong man. There's all any full-size welterweight. Pacquiao is still undersized in this weight class. Obviously has the power with the exchange. And that threat diminishes with each round as the energy is on the way. Body shot lands for Ugas. Pacquiao punches forward.
Yeah, that was another effort, a British effort by Manny Pacquiao to get something done. Because he knows he's probably behind right now. He's got to get something done.
Straight up the middle comes Ugas. Rich and brutish. He's not trying to come in and bum rush him.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a choice. He's not going to outmaneuver on his feet. Ugas right now. It's just not going to happen.
And it was never set up. I think that if anything, Ugas is ready for whatever Manny's going to present to him now.
Pacquiao is trying to win it on that shot.
There's one.
Cupping right hand to the side of the Pacquiao's got an ear.
Pacquiao's got his hand up good. He's hit to that punch. He can have a probably circuit through there.
Right on the belt right there for Ugas. Straight up the middle with the right hand for Ugas. Minute to go here, round 11. Not much time left for Pacquiao. If indeed he is behind on the cards. And you wonder what the future is for Manny Pacquiao. How much is left? We'd love to see him. Look, we're enjoying this. Yeah, I'm Australia. I'm enjoying this.
I promise you, BK, I'm over here. I'm thinking this is a great fight. I'm really thinking this is a great fight. You got a game replacement fighter in Dennis Ugas who knew what he was up against, and then you got a guy in Manny Pacquiao trying to cement his legacy right here tonight.
Have you ever seen a bad Manny Pacquiao fight?
Never seen a bad Manny Pacquiao, even in the ones that he lost.
Right, not to throw any young guy in front of Ugas right now. Are they going to do anything than Manny Pacquiao?
There you go.
Well, Ugas makes himself a real player. And you got Spence and still the welterweight champ. Terrence Crawford there. Sean Porter sitting with us right here. And we knew he was a player, but this kind of puts him on the map of public perception. Digging in here in the final seconds of round 11. 1 round to go.
Nice jab right there from Manny Pacquiao. The jab was underutilized by Manny, but it set up that left hand right there. And then Manny does what he always does. Just keep going.
Yeah, and here's Ugas coming back with that patented right hand. That landed on the back of the neck, to tell you the truth. You know, Manny's been protecting himself, his chin at least, from that sweep right hand.
I like that you refer to it as patent. It's patent. You said, oh, that's patent.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you announced that right now. Yes, it has been a long time. And it ain't over yet.
Just that corner.
Yeah.
Sort of, because they know what's happening here. Your Dennis Ugas, you see there right there. 3-0 is a late sub. Fought and beat both Jamal James and Thomas Cormier on short notice. He got this fight with 11 days notice, but he was on the card. So he was training, he was getting ready for Fabian Maidana. He was training, he was getting ready. Suddenly he had the chance to take on Pacquiao instead. So he was ready to go, and here we go, final 2.5 minutes of this fight.
I tell you what, shame on me for not saying this until right now. I just noticed it now.
Wow.
And also shame on Manny. I don't think I've ever seen Manny really use head movement, but the head movement to get out of the way of that right hand, and then you'll be able to return shots. Manny never tried to use head movement to get out of the way of that right hand.
Yeah, for most of his career, Sean, that head was moving constantly, so it's just very different now. And his feet were not moving.
Yeah.
In this fight. And he just got rocked by a right hand. Look, he's not devastated or hurt, but he got knocked sideways on his feet. Yeah. 2 minutes to go. Pacquiao come up with a miracle.
And he's waiting on the right hand. Manny's not in control. He's got to take control.
No, I don't think it's fair to say Manny needs a knockout.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, unless there's something that we're missing on the scorecard.
And so frequently we're missing something that's on. We don't even see it. We've seen things that Ugas again, a split decision against the Ramos. They don't sense whatsoever. So look, weird things can happen. I think we've seen the other flow of this fight, and it seems like Ugas has been in control and took control in this fight. Right hand again by Ugas.
Yeah, Ugas is kind of the home for that. If nothing else, that has stopped Manny from doing anything that he thought. That right hand is throwing him off balance. He's making him really cover up. He's landing there. And he's found a home for it.
You know, it's not just age either, because Pacquiao had a lot of energy early in his life. I want to make it seem just like that. We realize it's a 42-year-old man who is, a champion, featherweight champion. He's a smaller fighter. This isn't Big George Foreman at 45.
I tell you what, even with 40 seconds, that Manny still wants this win.
Yeah.
He wants this fight. I think Manny can get a knockout right now. Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Final 30 seconds, hard body shot by Ugas. Pacquiao's last stand, possibly.
Manny landed a good right hook, left hand, landed another left hand right there.
But it's at stake. Ugas let it fly as well. He's been on the world stage a long time. The opportunity of a lifetime, and Spence to bow out. Look at this. Final 10 seconds, fans standing on their feet. What's left for Pacquiao? Ugas believes he has done enough and is at the end of a legend.
This could be a huge upset. Of course, the Vegas books, they had Pacquiao a huge favorite.
Yeah, but we knew he was a live dog. We know he was for real. Ugas is a tall order. You know that when you watch him fight.
And let's give credit to his trainer, Ishmael Salas, who has been really, on fire with us. Probably 12-1 at this point. Yeah.
He's got it reasonably close, 115 to 113. So if Larry Hazard has it like that, you would think a judge could reasonably have it somewhere near there. So this is not out of the question, although the three of us sitting here saw Ugas take over. We go back once again, and Ugas able to make his statement late.
That was an open glove. That was nothing of any consequences off balance. And here's Pacquiao trying to do something in the last round here, trying to turn the tide, trying to drop him, hurt him, do something that could let him win this fight. But I don't know. I think he fell short in this round as well. There's a little block and turn. So Pacquiao tried to counter off that right hand off of Ugas with a hook, but to no avail.
But we've been pointing out all week that Yordenis Ugas is a legitimate top 5 welterweight. And in the top 5, Sean, you're one of them, Keith Thurman, one of them. His rings are close to the top guys' fights.
Absolutely, 100%. I said this. I said that Yordenis Ugas has to win a fight in order for me to look at him as a champion. And not only did he maybe win this fight, he did a very outstanding job. Look at the punches landed, punches thrown, 59% there. I mean, look at that. It's the power punches thrown. And it was that right hand that seemed to connect almost every time, 59% of the time that Ugas threw it.
It is interesting that Pacquiao threw over 800 punches, Ugas just over 400.
Yeah.
It's of note.
Well, because Ugas was not there in the first half of the fight. That's the bottom line.
Let's get the decision. Lot riding on this. Ugas and Pacquiao, we go to the ring. And Jimmy Lennon Jr.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are score totals. Judge of ringside, Patricia Morse-Jarman scores about 115 to 113. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Dave Moretti both scored about 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion, Yordenis Ugas.
These are very good judges. I had an 8-4, 8-4,